Hello, 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 beauties. Mo the Goddess here. Welcome back to the channel. This is your first time on my channel. Welcome in. Look around, check out some of my other videos, see if there's something that resonates with you. And if so, make sure you like, comment, share. And if you are going to do all that, you may as well subscribe. It does not cost you a dime, I promise you. But when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you are aware when I upload more amazing videos such as this. So, you guys, I actually recorded a whole video on my camera, my professional camera. I'm on my phone now. I recorded a whole video, and we get to half the video and the microphone dies. So I hope y'all can hear me loud and clear on this microphone. Please be able to hear me. But also today, I told you, Mercury retrograde, child. I told you in the video yesterday that I have been having some issues with my electronics. I don't know what the deal is, but hopefully this will be good. I wanted to record this video really quick though, even though it's supposed to be a vlog today. I chose not to do a vlog because I didn't go anywhere today. I didn't go out. I didn't go to the gym. I woke up this morning, and a little after I woke up, it started to rain really hard. And I was like, you know what? I just don't want to get out in the rain. I'm not in the car here in Bali. We ride motorbikes. And if I can prevent getting wet if I don't have to, I'm going to prevent getting wet if I don't have to. So I have just been in here. I have not gone anywhere, but like I said, I am committed to giving you content for the month of December. And it's important to me that you guys actually like the videos because I do want to stimulate the algorithm, and I do want these videos to be pushed out so that other people will find the channel who resonate with the channel. So, with that being said, I'm going to jump into a question that I often get. For those of you who do not know, I am living in Bali, Indonesia. I have been here since February 2020, and I cannot believe that February 2025 will be 5 years. Y'all ask me all the time, Mo, why Bali? And I'm gonna tell you, like I always say, and I'm gonna spare you the details of the story. I followed my spirit. I didn't choose Bali. Bali definitely chose me. If you have ever been to Bali for any length of time, then you know that this is a really spiritual place. I was told that Bali chooses its people. So a lot of people that live here were actually called to Bali, like I was. And I didn't realize it at the time, what was being, of course, I'm not like, oh, Bali is choosing me. I just knew that I had never been to Bali. I had never known anything about Bali, never desired to come to Bali, didn't know anything about the culture, the food, the language, the money. I didn't know a thing about Bali. All I knew is after moving to Atlanta, Georgia from Las Vegas, Nevada, checking off my bucket list, finding myself as an empty nester, finding myself coming to a place in my life, living in Las Vegas most of my life. After my youngest son graduated high school and he moved out, I was looking around my place going, what now? I never saw myself as an empty nester. I had carried so with honor this title of single mother. I raised two sons by myself, and it just never dawned on, it never occurred to me that one day I would be alone. And shortly after my son moved out, I asked myself, what is it that I want for my life? I've carried the title as a single mother for many years. But I never really understood what it was like to be a single woman. And it was at that time that I decided that I would venture out to find out what I wanted as a single woman. And one of the things that I had always wanted to do was travel. Being a single mother raising two sons by myself, we went on trips. We went on road trips. We went on road trips within the Western area. I lived in the West, Las Vegas, Nevada. So we went to places like LA, San Diego, Arizona, places that we can jump in the car and actually drive. That's what I did with my kids. But I wanted to venture out. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to know what it was like. What was I missing when my friends, my friend girls at the time, when they were traveling and taking girls' trips after high school and in college, and I wasn't able to do it because I was a mother? What was I missing out on? So I gifted myself a trip to Atlanta, Georgia for my birthday, the same year that my son graduated high school. And when I went to Atlanta, y'all, I was like, whoa, it was a culture shock. I was seeing my people, from the pilots to the stewardess to the staff in the airport. People look like me. And you felt it in the air. So, yeah, there are people in Las Vegas. There are Black people in Las Vegas. There are. But Atlanta is a different type of people. It was people out there. It was Black folks out there moving and shaking. And I wasn't used to seeing that. And I remember going through the airport like in awe. I was just in awe. And when I got out and I started seeing the country, I started seeing deer on the side of the roads. I started seeing, it was beauty. It was like somebody had turned the light switch on for me. Like I have been in the dark all my life, and somebody turned the light switch on for me when I got to Atlanta. And I said, I want to move here. But I was just saying it. I was thinking it. I wasn't really believing that I could. I said, I'm going to move here. And after my little, birthday trip was over, I went home and I got online and I started looking for jobs. I was moving to Atlanta and I applied for 4 jobs, and all 4 of those jobs called me and they asked me to come for an interview, and I was already back in Las Vegas. And I told them, like, I don't live there though. I was really just trying to feel it out. But they all invited me. They said, well, when are you moving here? And I said, I don't know. Whenever I get a job. And they said, well, when can you be here? So I made sure I scheduled another trip back to Atlanta, a 3-day trip, because I had already been there for a week on my little birthday vacation. And then 2 weeks later, I was going back, and I was even nervous about that because I'm like, I spent all my money. And I wasn't used to spending money on myself. I wasn't used to taking chances. And I was telling myself, well, what if I get out there and I'm just going and nobody hires me? See, I always defaulted to the negative. I don't know about you, but that was the type of life I was living. I always defaulted to the negative. What if? What if? What if they don't? And then I finally flipped it and I said, girl, but what if they all hire you? Y'all, when I got to Atlanta, I scheduled those interviews from the time I got off the plane. When I got off the plane and got my rental car, I went to a racetrack, which is a gas station there, a convenience store in Atlanta. I did a wash up, I changed my clothes, and I went on my first job interview, and they hired me on the spot. That was at 7 o'clock in the morning. They hired me on the spot. They gave me the drug test papers. They gave me the background check, hired me on the spot. And I said, well, now, I'm out here. I already scheduled the other interview, so let me make sure I go to those too. 10 o'clock in the morning, that same morning, I had another job interview. I go. They hire me on the spot. The next day was going to be the next interviews. Went, they all hired me. I had no excuse. 3 days later, I'm back in Las Vegas. Now I'm nervous because they all hired me. I get home, I'm laying in bed. One Saturday morning, I'm looking at the ceiling. It's my off day. I'm looking at the ceiling. And I'm like, girl, you ain't even got no money to move out there. How you gonna move? I had never moved anywhere. I had never moved anywhere. How was I gonna do it? I'm looking at the ceiling. I said, you know what? We're not gonna worry about how we're gonna do it. Get up, go to the U-Haul, get you some boxes, get you some tapes, and start taping up this stuff in these boxes. Because they only gave me 30 days. My start date on the one job that I chose. And I chose them because they were the first ones to give me the background test and the drug test. And they told me, you got 30 days from the time we get the answer back. You got 30 days. Otherwise, you have to take the test all over again. We have to do another background check. Well, they gave me 30 days to relocate to Atlanta, Georgia. And from the moment I started packing up those boxes, pulling stuff off my walls, reaching out to movers, and just acting like I had the money. And I didn't. And I remember posting on Facebook that I was moving to Atlanta, Georgia, and somebody that had been following me on Facebook, I didn't know the man. I didn't pay him no attention. He was just somebody who was following me. And every now and then I would see him like my pictures. Every now and then I see him in my comments. I didn't know him. He hit me up in my inbox. He was like, wow, you moving to Atlanta? I wish I had known when you came out here, I would have asked you to come to dinner. And I was like, yeah, I'm moving. He was like, where are you moving? I was like, I don't know where I'm moving. I don't know anything about Atlanta. He was like, if you want me to help you, you just send me, you look for your places that you like, you send me the addresses, and I'll go check them out for you. And that's what I did. And this dude would go and check out these places for me. He hit me up and let me know what they were like. No, you ain't gonna like that. You ain't gonna like this area. Oh, it's a bad area. No, it looked like this. He did all this, a perfect stranger. And then he was like, hey, Mo, kind of like you. Before you move out here, I would really like to get to know you because when you get here, I want you to be my friend. And I was like, okay. He was like, I've never been to Las Vegas. Can I come see you? And I was like, sure. And this man came to see me and we hit it off like that. I was so excited, starting something new. In 30 days, I'm moving to a new place. I met a new friend. I like him. He likes me. And he immediately started to step into the role of assisting me to get to Atlanta. He played an instrumental part of me moving to Atlanta, Georgia. That's another story for another day. But I got there by acting as if. Atlanta rolled out the red carpet for me, you guys. It was a mini first that happened to me when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. It was the first time I owned a brand new car off the lot. It was the first time that I was having a boyfriend in a long time. Because that guy became my boyfriend. He asked me to be, he said, will you be my girl? And I was like, yeah, I like him because he took charge. He was a man. I like a man to step into that man role and take charge. You know what I'm saying? He played a major part. He told me, not even knowing me very well, how much ever it cost you, Mo, to get here, I'm going to pay half. And I was like, wow. So I went from not having any money to now not only having somebody to advocate for me, but to also have somebody assist me. And when I say Atlanta rolled out the red carpet for me, and it was a time of many firsts, the brand new car, the which he wanted to co-sign for, and I really had to talk him down off that. I'm like, no, 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 because I didn't know him. I didn't want to have that kind of responsibility with somebody I didn't know. No, no, I got this, bro. I don't need you to co-sign. I might, even though I wasn't, because I didn't have no money. I didn't have no money. When I say Atlanta rolled out the red carpet for me, I walked into the dealership, taking an Uber by myself to the dealership with no money because I had used all my money to move there. All I had was a promissory note from the job. They said, bring your promissory note. I brought my promissory note. I wrote them a, what do they call that? A pre-dated check for 1,500. Old boy paid half. 2 weeks later, I paid the other half. That was my down payment. And I rode off the lot with that brand new sports car. And from that, I started to meet people because I was driving around just trying to get to know Atlanta. I started to meet people. It was the first time that somebody really supported me, and we got to talking. You know, I was going to places, meeting people that actually talk, friendly people in the South. And my products, they wanted in their stores, my skincare products. Before I came to Bali, I had a skincare line, you guys, which is, I, it's still in effect, but I can't operate it from here. So, yeah, my products were in stores, you know, and I was really, really like in little boutiques, in the cryotherapy place. It was so wonderful. I went into a gym and they were like, oh, we just opening up and we need an instructor. Can you come in here and be an instructor? That was my like little gig that I did on the weekends. It was amazing. But after being in Atlanta for 3 years, I don't know why, I went out and got a job. I got scared because I started to expand and want more. So I went out and got a job. And it was then, I'm so happy I got that job. Even though I was unhappy working the job, I'm so happy I got a job because that was when I actually sat down on my couch in my condo in Atlanta and I was looking around and I said, I'm doing the same thing I was doing in Las Vegas, going through the motions, getting up every day, 4 o'clock in the morning to be to work at 6 o'clock. For those of you who do not know, I am a truck driver by trade. I hold a CDL. I've been holding a CDL license since 2008. Going through the motions. And I asked myself, like, I was working 6 days a week. Like I said, I was getting up at 4, getting in traffic for an hour, getting to work, clocking in by 6, getting off work at 4, working 10 hours a day. Then after getting off work, being in traffic for another hour, getting home, having just enough time to shower, having just enough time to eat, having just enough time to prepare to go to work the next day, having one day off, one day to do my shopping, one day to do my cleaning, one day to do my laundry, one day to sit down, one day to shop for my food, one day. And I don't know about you, but having one day ain't enough. Quite honestly, having 2 days off wasn't enough when I think about it now. And on that Sunday, I was sitting in my living room. I knew I had to be to work on Monday, and I was looking around and I said, I don't know what it is, but this ain't it. My life ain't bad, but this ain't it. This cannot be life. Going through the rat race, going to work every day. So when you ask me why Bali, why did I choose Bali? And I tell you, I didn't choose Bali at that time. Today, I choose Bali because I am afraid. I'm afraid of two things. Number one, I'm afraid of getting to the end of my life because I have more years behind me than I do in front of me. I know it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. I'm 54. Getting to the end of my life and never have lived life. never had rolling the dice on myself, never taken a chance on myself, never investing in myself, never living out my dreams, never trying. I'm afraid. I don't want to be that person. If I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't want to be that person to just be working all my life. I had a brand new car that I only drove to work. I had a brand new car that I was paying over $600 for a car payment just to go to work. I was going to work just to be able to afford the basics of life. And I was smart enough to know that this was not what life was about for me. This can't be what life is about. So, sitting there, and before I know it, my laptop was sitting on the desk next to me, and I turned around and I had booked a one-way ticket to Bali, Indonesia. Not a let me go see, not a let me take a short vacation, not a let me try it out, but a one-way ticket. My ticket was leaving in 30 days from that date. I had 30 days again to pack up all my things, to sell all I could, and to move. And when I bought that ticket, it was just like, I knew it was right. I knew it was right. 30 days later, February 02, 02, 2020, same numbers going forward as they are going backwards. It's called a palindrome. I didn't do it on purpose. A palindrome, it happens only, I think, every decade or so. 02, 02, 2020. I didn't even realize that those numbers were lined up like that until I was going through getting on the plane and I gave my boarding pass to the lady and she scanned it and I just happened to look at it and I'm like, 0202 2020. What does that mean? And I looked up those numbers. Told me I was on the right track. I was doing the right thing at the right time, going to the right place. And when I set my butt on that plane, I felt like all my worries, all my anxiety, all my fears, all my questions went away. And as soon as I got to Bali, Indonesia, I started hearing about this global pandemic, this global virus. It wasn't even a pandemic at the time, it was a global virus. And I remember posting that I was in Bali and people was shooting daggers at me on Facebook. I can't believe you going over there close to China. Don't bring that stuff back over here. They were killing me in my comments. And then after we started hearing about this pandemic and everything was shut down and I was posting pictures of myself on the beach, not on purpose, I was just living my life. I was happy. At that time, I realized what Spirit did for me. Took me out of the chaos and put me over here to preserve me, to protect me, to allow me to be able to trust myself and to trust my spirit and to move when spirit say move. 30 days to move to Atlanta. Red carpet rolled out. 30 days to move to Bali, Indonesia. Red carpet rolled out. So that is the reason why I moved to Bali, Indonesia. But the reason why I stay here is because we have been bamboozled, y'all. We have been bamboozled into believing that the more you have in the States, the nicer your car, the nicer your house, the nicer the neighborhood, the nicer you dress, the nicer your life. You're worth something. You hold some status if you got stuff, right? We have been bamboozled to believe that going to work every day is the right way. You going to work and you can't even enjoy your life. You're not even living. You are being controlled. And as long as you're being controlled and you in fear, they got you where they want you. Because you got to work every day because you got to pay this high ass rent. You got to pay this high ass car payment. You got to pay this light bill. You got to pay this gas bill. You got to pay this water bill. You got to pay for groceries that's up the yin yang. I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to make it over there. I'm afraid. So it's not a flex of me being over here now. It's not because I am surviving. Not only am I surviving, but I am thriving. I'm here with organic foods. I'm here with people who appreciate me when they see me. I'm here with people who actually remember my name. When I come into their establishment, they remember me. I'm here living in this cute little small place, which is just enough for me, living with my suitcases, which is just enough for me. The things that I left in the United States, I don't even think about them. I don't need them. I don't think about paying no bills. I don't think about having 3 times the rent. Because if I want to go somewhere, if I want to move into a place, I say, hey, here's the money. And I move in. That's all they want to hear. Do you have the money, baby? That's it. My rent, it covers my water bill. It covers my light bill. It covers my Wi-Fi. Covers all that. I don't have no responsibilities anymore. When you see me in my bathing suits, it's because the weather is conducive to that. I don't have to worry about dressing a certain way. I don't have to worry about a car payment. People barely drive cars over here. The only people that drive cars over here are service workers, the drivers that's going to drive you around. It's going to take you on your tour. Everybody is on a motorbike, which is the most common and convenient way to ride. I pay $70 a month. I pay $3 to fill up my tank once a week. I'm not startled awake every morning and in a rush to get ready to go to a job where somebody's telling me how much they're going to pay me, how much I deserve to get paid. Somebody's telling me when I can be off. Somebody's telling me when I can go home. I am driving my new car because it's a status, right? My new car, my nice car, my beautiful sports car. She was a beauty too. She was a beauty. I'm driving her just to work. That's not living. I'm afraid of not living, getting to my deathbed, getting to the end of my life and never having lived life. I'm afraid of getting to the States, having to have 3 times the rent. Worried about that, first of all. 3 times the rent. Worried about my credit score. Worried about how am I going to pay my car payment or getting 2 and 3 jobs just so I can make it. I am afraid of that life. I'm afraid of that life. At 54, I don't want that life. I want to relax. I want to be able to meditate. I want to be able to hear my thoughts. I want to be able to trust my spirit and be led to the next thing, the next place, the next version of myself. So although I miss my children and my grandchildren, I'll go and visit. But is the United States what it used to be for me? No. We've been bamboozled to believe that the American way is the way. It may be for somebody, but it's not for me. Not for me. Not right now. So, to answer your question, that is why Bali, Indonesia. And it may not be Bali for the rest of my life. Because I told you in the last vlog that I've come to a place in my life where my spirit is stirring up again. My spirit is saying, there's more. I'm just in a place where I haven't heard a clear direction and it frustrates me. Because spirit, you always give me clear direction. We always be on it. We always be getting it. But I feel like I'm in a place of stillness. Stay still, surrender, Surrender. Surrender is not easy for me, but we're going to be all right, right? So I just wanted to share that with you in this vlog. Like I said, if you can't relate, maybe you know somebody who can. And if you do, please share the video. Please hit the like. Please comment. I'm going to answer your comments. Please share. Sharing is caring. But in the meantime, let me go tend to my allergies. And in between time, you be fit, be fierce, be fabulous. Healthy is the new sexy. Bye, y'all.
Hey.